What's going on, everybody? This is Natan Mandala. Thanks for watching my video. I wanted to put this out there just to throw it out there into the wind for anybody who's willing to listen to this. But I've always wondered, where is there a place where an individual can go for both Zen mode, like Zen monk mode, but can also go into artistic craftsman, building something, working on projects mode? Where does that exist in the world? Because everywhere I look, it's just always the one particular thing. If you look into monk monasteries, or you look into Zen, or you look into other things that have to do with solitude and hermits, where hermits go to live, it's only usually based upon that. It's based upon the Zen itself. It's based upon living a quiet life in solitude and eating when you eat, doing your meditation, and just being silent. Zen is something where it's good for nothing. That's what they say. Zen is good for nothing because you just sit there. You're silent. You're meditating. You're in the present moment where you are. That's what it's really about. If you want to look more into it, then you have to do that for yourself individually. But what I ask myself is, the only things that I can come close to seeing that is something like this is Shaolin monks, is where they practice silence and solitude, and they live in that, but they also have martial arts that they practice. They also have exercises, and they exercise, and they do things with weapons, and they master that kind of art. They might draw, they might write, they're philosophers, things like that. That's about the only thing that I can find that is even close to being something that I'm individually looking for myself. But the thing is, I don't really want to shave my head and wear a robe and like do that kind of thing. But maybe I just need to say, you know what, screw it. I don't really care about the aesthetics as much, but I kind of do in a way, but in a way I don't. It's this weird dichotomy with me. I care, but I don't care, because I don't mind mentorship, and I don't mind if somebody is teaching me something, but I don't like being told what to do in my spare time. I need my time for myself to do what I'm doing, and to look at what I'm looking at, and to sit and contemplate and be present with myself for periods of time. And this is where I hesitate making a move and really going somewhere like that, because I know they're going to have rules, and they're going to have probably little things that you have to do, and that's fine. But my thing is, I wouldn't mind doing, I wouldn't mind having some structure, because I think we all need some kind of structure. But at the same time, I don't want to be somewhere where it's only based upon what the place is saying, or what the Zen master or the sensei or the guy there is saying. You know what I mean? He has to be an individual, or if it's a she, if she is somebody there, they have to be an individual where they are willing to both chaperone, mentor, be a practitioner, but at the same time, they have got to be willing to hear me, and hear me out, and say, well, what do you think about this? What do you think we should do? How would you go about doing these things? It can't just be me focusing on a sensei and listening to everything he's doing, even though I want to learn something from him, I want to learn things. This is where I hesitate, because it can't just be, I don't like thinking that somebody is an authoritarian figure over me. I don't like looking up to anybody. I like looking as though this person is a reflection of me. And when I'm listening to him, I'm listening to myself. When I'm not understanding something, then you show me what you mean. You see what I mean? It can't be like I'm looking up to or looking down on people. It can't be based upon that for me. It got to be something where when I'm wrong about something, I say that I'm wrong. Or when they do something that is whatever, then they say that they made a mistake or something's not right. Like, it isn't this thing where they're looking down upon me like, oh, I'm your teacher and I'm teaching you. No, it can't be about that with me, because then I'm going to start having some kind of disdain for them. I'm going to start to resent that. See, it's like, okay, what do you know? Teach me that so I can do it how I do it. What have you learned? What skill do you have? What art do you know? What are things that you've went through or been through? Tell me that so I can learn my own way individually, even though it's kind of like a thing that we're together there. There's still the separate part. And this is what, if you're wondering what holy means and what sanctity means, it actually means separate, set apart from. So me as a person, my whole life, I have felt like my approach was always unorthodoxical. My approach always sounded weird to other people. My approach was always mocked. My approach was always looked down upon. My approach was always shunned, or you're crazy, or why do you think that way? See, my approach was never supported in that way. And that's how I am. I'm unorthodoxical. I am a conundrum, an oxymoron, a paradox in and of itself. And this is how life really is. It's those things, whether people want to admit it or not. And like when you go to therapy to get out of denial. Therapy is where you shine a light on things that you don't want to shine a light on. Therapy is somewhere where you go to expose what is being in denial, acting like it isn't happening, or trying to be a way that you're not really, and you're putting on this mask and facade. That's what therapy is about. It is to call those things out. It is to confront them. It is to exorcise them. This is what it means metaphorically when we say exorcising our demons. That's what therapy is. That's what confrontation is. That's what going into a sacred place, a sanctity, going to do Zen or craft or art or whatever. Now, not all of that is pertain to what I'm saying. I'm just saying the reason why this society, why something was always, there was always something void in me that was not being met. Even up to this day, I'm 39 years old, and there's still something in me that is not being met. There is still something in me that is not being content with the people that I am associated with. And the reason why that happens is because I don't think that we even really understand what being present means. We don't even understand what it is to be present with other people, because all of our lives, all we really been doing was running away from ourselves and running away from each other, really. And we never focused on artistical things, crafty things. All we've been told to do is go get a job, get a house, come home, watch TV, and get a car, go to the job again, and come home and do those things. That is not a life that I've ever wanted to live. I've always seen it as something foreign, like it wasn't natural. It didn't feel right to me, and it still doesn't feel right to this day. It's still wrong to me. To me, it's wrong. And if I really want to be honest here, nobody has ever really truly supported you or I. Nobody has ever truly supported us. They might have supported us for a time or did what they thought was best, but really, how many people, when you were going through something or you were having something go on in your life or you needed somebody there, how many people did you have to just be there with you, to listen, to just be there in your presence, and to just say, look, you can say whatever you're going through, it doesn't matter what it is, talk about it or let it be known, we're going to get through this together. I'm going to sit here with you in it together. And we're going to do this as a unit. We're going to look for alternatives. We're going to get through this no matter what, and we're not going to give up. We're not going to come at ease. We're not going to run away or be in denial. We're going to face it together. We're going to be there in it together, no matter how bad it hurts, no matter what's happening. How many people do you know have ever done that in your life? They might have did it for like little spurts of time. But the thing is, see, this is my problem with like motivational speeches and self-help gurus and like positivity talk, because to me, it is literally just running away from what is really going on in your life. To me, it's just adding more fear to your life, because it's getting you to distract yourself with things because you're not really facing things. You're not really getting in touch with the sanctity of your own presentness with other people, if that makes sense. And if this is making sense, then that means that you are not in denial. You are resonating with what I'm saying. And that means that you are someone that you just cannot coexist with the way that most of this world does what they do. And it isn't our fault. It isn't your fault. It doesn't make us right or wrong. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, I think that there is a time in life where you have to just come to a point to say, look, it's just better if we don't even coexist around one another. I got to go do this for my sake, so you go do that for your sake. And I think that's what needs to happen in a lot of our lives. This is why, like I said before, I love my family. I only wish the best for them. I don't want to see anything bad happen to them. Nothing like that. But the thing is, I don't think that family was meant to, I don't think that family is your soul tribe. Some people it might be. Some families, they might be your soul tribe. Y'all might have a lot in common. and you might be able to be comfortable around each other, and you might resonate with each other, and you might go places and do things and talk about things, and you just have that kind of connection. But unfortunately, I've never had that connection with what is called my family unit. I've never had that connection with them. And it's not my fault. It's really not their fault either. They're just not like me, and I'm not like them. And yeah, they'll probably see my lifestyle as toxic, or why do you do that? Well, we don't want to be that way. That's fine. You don't have to be. But me, unfortunately, ever since I came into this world, something felt wrong to me. It didn't feel right. I didn't feel like I was getting the proper support that I needed. I didn't feel like I was at where I belonged. I didn't feel like I was getting meant what I needed to be getting meant. And, I get so tired of hearing these people out here, they'll call you things like, oh, you're just a narcissist. It's all about you. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. If people say that kind of stuff, they're misinterpreting and they're not understanding what is really being said here. It is just a fact that some people were not meant to coexist with other people. Some people were meant to segregate from each other. And I'm not talking about black and white segregation. I'm talking about segregate as in, I think that certain tribes are meant to be together, and that's just how it is. And some people are not meant to live with, coexist, or associate with one another. I think it's impossible for this world and people to come together as one unit in what I'm talking about here, because they didn't go through the same things. They didn't have the same stuff happen to them. They believe in different things. Their people treated them different, or the family they were brought up in, or the commune they were brought up in. Whatever they were brought up in, it was probably different. It wasn't like how I was brought up. It wasn't like the things that I went through, or the things that I seen, or what I felt was wrong. It didn't feel natural to me. What was normal, what was supposedly normal, was not natural to me. It wasn't right. Normality to me is ludicrous. Normality to me is just people forcing themselves to fit into a programmed lifestyle bubble that they've been being told, so they just went with it. I'm not going with that. That's why everything I do is unorthodoxical. One day, I might be absolutely into what I'm doing. I might be liking what I'm doing and excited about what I'm doing. And then the next day, I might not be into it at all. I might say, oh, well, today I'm not into this. But if it's something to do with a project, or building something, or focusing on, like I said before, building a sanctity, or a room, or a shelter, or a refuge, or temples, whatever words you want to use, that is something that I would put everything into, because at the end of the day, that is what is going to support me. That is what is going to be there for me. That is what is going to give me shelter. That is where I can rest my head. That is where I belong, is there. And then in my own energy, my own space. I don't mind getting out of that space for a little bit to hear or see what's going on. But then if I do that, if I go and I see what's going on, and it's something that I have nothing in common with, that I don't resonate with at all, that I feel like there's no reason for me to learn, then I'm going to have to move on from that and say, this is just not for me. It's just like people who have been married before. They're desperately trying to make something work that was just not destined to work, and they can't move on from it. It's like, look, people's personalities change over time. People change. People evolve. People have things happen to where they say, well, look, this is not for me anymore, and I have to do this. Or this thing that I thought I wasn't. And see, when we stay in the denial of all those things, then the denial turns into this pressure cooker. It turns into this bad energy. It turns into this spiritual principle where everybody is lacking something. Everybody's miserable, stressed, hating, resentful, bitter, angry, mad. And then we can't move on from it and just say, okay, this isn't working. Okay, this is not for me. And then the worst thing is when you have people around you that will gaslight you, that will make you feel guilty because that thing is not for you, or will try to keep you somewhere where you know is just not where you belong. It's not matching up with your aura. It's not matching up with your energy. You're just like, I don't want to do this. It's not for me. I'm miserable here, and I'm sorry. It's nothing to take personal. See, we got to stop taking this shit personal. This is what a lot of you out there on the internet or out in oblivion, you take these things personal. And you're only going to find out in your life sooner or later, it's going to become a personal thing for you, because you're going to say, damn, you were right. You see, what you think you are now, what you thought that you were, over time, that's going to change. What I was 20 years ago is nothing like what I am now. In many ways, yes, but in many ways, no. And all that I look for, all that matters to me as a person is solitude, my energy, having a bite to eat, being able to express my artism or my artistic abilities, to write out my thoughts, to have somewhere to reflect, and to not be associated with toxic shit in my life, because it serves me no good, and it's never going to serve any of you any good until you come to the therapy session. And this is what most people, they cannot get out of this bubble of life to admit. They can't even say, look, right now, my life is shit. My life is all messed up. My life is in shambles. I am depressed. I am hating life. Most people cannot admit that because they have to shine light upon something that is going to hurt or they're not going to want to do. So then they hold on to it and they keep the denial, and then they act as if, oh, well, there's nothing wrong. They act as if, oh, well, we can handle this. They act as if, well, we can work this out. But over time, when you keep seeing the same patterns and you keep hearing the same patterns and you keep living the same patterns and you keep feeling and absorbing, and these same energies that keep coming around you are getting you fucked up, then you say to yourself, I have no other choice but to go. I have to go. I have to leave. I have to set myself apart from. And this is what sanctity's all about. It doesn't matter if you have to leave your family. If they're toxic for you, they're toxic for you. It doesn't matter if you have to leave what you know is normal and you don't want to change. Change is going to come about anyway, people. It's going to keep coming as long as we're alive. So let's stop fooling ourselves. Let's stop being in denial. Let's stop playing this game. Let's stop acting as if, oh, I got to go listen to a motivational video now. I have to go fool myself into thinking that I feel great and my life is great when it isn't. I got to go listen to a guru tell me that I need self-help. I got to go watch a video of somebody telling me all these positive affirmations. That does not work for real people. I'm a realist, and I'm a lot of other things too. I am a bunch of things. I am esoteric. I am an artist. I am many things. I am an I have an imagination. I'm a visionary. I am a hermit, and above all, I'm a realist. My philosophy is more pessimistic because the world is more pessimistic. But my outlook on life, I have to have something. I don't call it optimism, I just call it realism. Being authentic with myself. That is what should matter in our lives. If we don't want to do something, we don't have to do it. If people around you cannot understand that, then that means that they don't support you. Because if someone really supported you, they would tell you things like, well, what do you want to do? What are you after? That's what they would do. So I'm out of time. This is Natan Mandala. Thanks for watching. Please help support the channel. Thank you. Be